Two things happened this week that reminded me of how critically important it is to have the right team around you and the right professionals around you. And both of these instances basically gave the same message. One of these mentees actually said this: I never would have thought of that. So let me give you the two examples, and let's let you decide if you would have thought of that and if you would have fallen into the same trap that these two scenarios give. The first is it's in the trades. It's a mentee that wants to do a deal. He's got an interested seller, motivated seller. You'll understand why in a second. And he's looked at the numbers and looked at the financials. And it's not a very big business, but the owners have said that they take each out $15,000 a month, which is not reported on their taxes, but they want to get paid for that $15,000. And the mentee said, well, I think that this would be a great example of where I could use seller finance. I don't think so. But let's talk about it. First, you have to decide, and in the trades, there's certainly some business that doesn't get reported generally with a lot of these. You have to decide how important that is and what level, if any, is acceptable to you. But I said to him, they are cheating the federal government. What's the penalty for that? Fines and/or jail. Do you think that they're going to be afraid of you? The answer is no. Do you think that if they would cheat the federal government, they would also cheat you? The answer is yes. So we talked about that $15,000 each, which comes to $360,000 in a year. And they want to get credit for that. And I said, well, how do you know that's real? And he said, well, they showed me the transfers from the business to them personally. Okay. So let's imagine this scenario. I'm the business. I give my two owners $15,000. They then give it back to me, that $15,000, the cash. And they say that it's work that they did, that they got paid cash for, whatever they say. Next month, I take that same $15,000 to each of them, give it back. They give it to me. I give it to them. They give it to me. There's no $360,000 in that scenario. The same 15 and 15, 30 goes back and forth. So that's really important, to have people around you that have seen fraud. They typically, those that commit fraud, are much more creative than you and I are in terms of how to do it. They're better practiced at it, hopefully, than you and I are. So remember that. It can save you tons of money by having the right people around you that have seen those scenarios. Not all of them, but a lot of them. The second one was a mentee that years ago I worked with. Haven't worked with him in quite a while. But he did end up with several acquisitions. And in the beginning, he made those acquisitions 60-40. 60% bank, 40% a note back to the seller. That can work, especially in the beginning. Nothing wrong with that. But what the problem I learned was he only had one practitioner. This is in healthcare. And so the practitioner decided, you know what? 60%'s good enough. I'm okay. I don't need to keep working. I'll just forego that 40%. Walked away from the business, lost the 40%, but bigger impact, the mentee lost the practitioner in the business. That's why for many healthcare deals, you want to understand who's going to do this work. If it's doctors, are there 2 or better yet 3 doctors minimum? People get sick. People get hit by a bus. People decide they don't work anymore. If those scenarios happen and you are unable to do the work yourself, which I'd argue you don't want to do anyway, you want to manage those people that do it, you're out of business essentially until you get another practitioner. So both of those were, wow, I never would have thought that in the second case, the 60-40. And in the first case, it was, well, would somebody really do that? Just pass the money back and forth? Absolutely. That is why due diligence is so important. That's why your team is so important. So I hope this helps. I also hope that you, if you get value from these, will like and subscribe. As I record this, it is May 24th, and I'll be doing a live Q&A for bootcamp members this Wednesday. So if you're a bootcamp member, join me for that. If you are not, you still have time to sign up and grab that Acquisition Advantage Bootcamp, which has been updated for 2026, and you could join the live group Q&A as well, where you can ask me questions. Do that once a month. So I hope that helps, and I hope you realize how important the team is around you, how important due diligence is. As my mentor said, investigate before you invest. Great advice. Hope that helps.